here.
So
stream.
weird. I feel like I'm the only person. Oh.
Oh, this is a new guy who tried asking for assistance on something else, and I'm juggling
Nope.
multiple things.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're a bit. I can see you're a really, really, really busy dude, Anthony.
Well, you got it in the. It's on the right desk now. We sent it down the right pneumatic.
Yeah, we didn't ignore what you
yeah.
request. We got you somebody to talk to. So, anyways,
Yeah.
if anybody, I'm just setting up. I want to make sure I tweet this out.
I wish I talked to you earlier or whatnot.
You know what? It's fine. I finally got a day off to think. Wubcake. Northbridge.
I'm just over here like juggling content for like what direction do I go in?
A direction.
The voice text has just descended into an animalistic.
I'm sorry,
Spam.
but someone's posting cute, so I'm like, foxes.
Okay.
Avatar.
Wait.
Me trying to find my
Foxes.
goddamn way in the
Foxes.
world.
All right. So now that we've gotten this going, hopefully you guys didn't bury all those names. So as the story goes, the brony in question goes by the name of Angel Love. They've been through a series of different. Were they supposed to be temporary arrangements or what?
Yeah, temporary arrangements.
No, not all of them. And Panda and Quill was never meant to be a temporary.
Really? Oh.
No. She moved in with them to get away from the abusive mom. Bucky was never meant to be a temporary. Cousin Nana were. Jamari wasn't meant to be temporary, and neither was Aunt. She moved in with her aunt properly as well. They only cousin and Nana were meant to be temporary.
Oh, okay. Oh, you can see how freaking confusing this
Did
is.
did you hear of any of the previous stories before taking an Angel Love Web or?
Previous stories like
Like
oh wait, from like the past households, right?
Yeah, like did anybody?
yeah.
Put her in them.
Me and North were the ones that she vented to about all of them.
Yeah, you're missing half the facts. The fact is, me and Wubbs have been helping Angel for 4 years, from her abusive mom all the way up to
now
2 weeks ago when Angel went fucking kung fu, and this is literally the case. Well, she kicked her. This is the situation. That is how it's been the last 4 years. She would go from place to place to place, saying it's either abusive, something's wrong, someone is not nice. Move, same situation. It were for Panda. She claimed Panda and Quill were abusive. She claimed
everybody basically.
She claimed Mother was abusive, which we can prove that actually was abusive. Fair enough. Then she went from Quill and Panda, who they claimed was abusive, but no, they just treated her like a fucking adult.
Yeah.
And she didn't like that. She then went from Bucky, who dumped her ass probably because he realized he was in too much of a hassle. Cousin abusive, claimed God was punishing her for her gayness. Nana, no idea. Jamari, she cheated on him, claiming he was an aggressive guy, but then when she dumped him, he was just confused. Aunt, again, abusive because Aunt wanted her to finish her education and get a job. That's not even a joke. That's literally what it was. She was constantly claiming people were abusing her when all they were doing was saying, "Have you done therapy yet? Have you got a job yet?" Which is what me and Wobbs were saying too. Yeah, basically, are you being an adult?
Yeah, because
something she was allergic to, I think.
Well, because the thing is,
No,
like,
it's hard because it's
Whoa. Let it go. Yeah, no, take it, Wub.
Sorry, I was gonna say, because the thing is like, every time she would move into these places, we were like, yay, you got a place. And she was like, yay. And then, like, it was like, give it a week. And she's like, they don't want to be my friend. They don't want to listen to my problems, but I really want to talk about them. And I want to talk about my mom, but they don't want to hear it. And like, she would just be so depressed. And we were like, wait, are these people really that bad? And she's like, yeah, they're I think this is another abusive place. And
then we talked to them.
Claimed to have anxiety attacks and panic attacks and all this stuff. And we were like, okay, this must be something bad then. And it would be like that for everybody that she moved into. Like, coincidentally, each person she moved with was an abusive person, but every time we would personally hear them in a call in the background, it would be them talking to her saying, you need to get a job. Like, I thought you were going to be here only a short time. Like, you're just sitting on the computer drawing ponies. And that's it. Like, and not even making any money. And she
Yeah,
would be like,
Angel.
"Oh, abusive. Oh no, guys, I have so much anxiety, and stuff like that. And I just, good God, it's crazy.
Another element was that Angel clearly wanted to, what's the word I'm looking for? Monetize her voice acting or her artwork.
Mhm.
But the problem was Angels didn't have the audience or the recurring commissioners to make it work. So she didn't have proper income. She was on food stamps and that
And
was
that's
it.
it. Yeah.
And these places, she constantly talking about how she wants to do therapy, how she wants to do therapy to help her, and all these things. We'll talk about that in a moment, Avatar, and all these things. So I remember once, it was a while ago, I got a week's free therapy. Now I am British, I respect that, but I know in your country nothing worth value is free, and a week's free therapy would have been brilliant for her. It would have helped her at least get her on the right path. She missed the first appointment and then forgot the other two existed.
Huh.
So I was a bit sort of, And then it was like, she wants to get a job, so she started doing voice acting. She gets a job voice acting, immediately craps out because she said it was making her anxious. The thing that made her anxious was the fact that I'm just brushing over quickly.
Yeah.
Was the fact that this person asked her to do a voice she hadn't done before, and so she backed out after she got $1,000 worth of a computer from her, and a sound system and 200 quid's worth of foaming. I'm not kidding. And then claimed, I don't want to do voice acting anymore. It's not what I want to do. One moment. No, that's not what paid it. The creator bought her $1,000 laptop.
Yeah, because she told her how like she couldn't record properly because her laptop sucked.
Oh,
So
wow.
the director, she's like, "Well,
That sounds like a
I have
con
this is a
job to
paid
me.
project and I have funds, so how about I get you a new computer?"
Did she
And-
deliver on the lines or what?
No, she
Well,
backed out.
Oh,
She backed out.
and kept the computer?
Because
Yes.
North right now is basically nutshelling everything. Like I'm
Wow,
gonna tell
that's-
you, I was plenty there for her.
So stole $1,000 laptop is what you're telling me?
No, it was bought for her.
It was
Right,
bought-
but okay, if I agreed to say like, hey, I'll paint your bathroom if you buy me a new headset, and then I don't paint your bathroom.
No, the computer was an
headset you
additional to
sent
the
me?
paycheck. The
Yeah.
computer was additional to paycheck.
So
Yep.
she
Wow.
got
Holy
she got-
shit.
And
Translation, it was a really good fucking gig.
to
Yeah, that's an
elaborate, basically, it was a project that I got her into because she kept sitting around after HarmonyCon saying, "Nobody wants my voice acting. They just want you, Wubcake. Nobody wants my art. They just want you,
No one wants
Wubcake.
anyone's
Nobody
voice
wants
acting.
my
You
stuff.
gotta
They just want
hustle.
you,
Yeah.
Wubcake." And I was like, "Well, I'm in a project and they're looking for more voice actresses, so yeah, I'll introduce you." So I did, and they pay industry standard rates. They paid her $150 to audition.
What?
So it's some good shit. So basically, she got cast, and basically, okay, I'll just say
throw
she
that
got
on
cast.
the
It's
floor.
a
That's insane.
NLP
Yeah.
fan project, but they pay industry rates. So she gets cast as Rarity. Cool. Later on, like she did a okay, wait, I'm trying to remember. Okay. She got cast as Rarity, and then the director's like, "Hey, we're looking for a mayor, and I think your voice would be really fitting for it." And she's like, "Oh, I guess I'll try out," because she talks like fucking Fluttershy and shit. And she's like, "Oh, okay."
Fluttershy
And
is
so
in
she
my
tries
demand.
out for mayor, and the director's like, "Hell yeah, I love that. That's really good." And she's like, "I guess." And then she goes to me. She comes in my room saying, "I don't think I can do this voice acting stuff anymore. I don't even know anything about Mayor. I don't know if I can do this." Like having a freaking panic attack.
What?
And I'm
They're
like,
not gonna send her lines? Like, you're a voice actor. You don't need to know anything. They're gonna send you the
Yeah.
lines. And you're gonna do the voice.
You just need
Yeah,
to listen
and-
close to the character.
And like, I was trying to encourage her, saying like, "Look, you take direction like in the project, like,
Right.
just fine. Like, I mean, you're doing
Right,
really
if you're
well.
really
I don't know
voice
what's
acting,
wrong."
you can take direction. What's the issue? That's insane. Yeah.
And then she's like, "I don't think I can voice act anymore. Like, I just keep seeing how people want your stuff too, and it makes me feel like shit."
Well, what's the guilt tripping you shit part? That doesn't make. a
That's
lot of
that's been the case for the last 4 years.
Oh.
She's
But it's-
kind of made a habit of like constantly comparing herself to me, which I tried to get her out. of.
No. It sounds like she's blaming her lack of success on you, which is always a
Yeah,
red
Yeah.
that's
flag.
exactly
Yeah.
what she did.
pretty much. And so basically, she ends up saying she can't do the project anymore, and the director was completely fine with it. She was like, "Well, okay, I understand. I mean, that's okay." After she had shipped the laptop thing and everything.
How
And,
much was she gonna get
gave her
paid?
like $500.
$1,000 lap.
I
This
didn't
isn't chicken. This isn't chicken money. Yeah, this
I
is
didn't
good shit.
like. What channel was this gonna be for?
Well,
What's her
basic-
name?
her name is Silk, right?
I know. I mean her YouTube channel, because I actually do not remember ever mentioning her YouTube channel.
Silk doesn't have a YouTube channel. They're,
That
they're
makes
mainly
sense
based
then.
on Patreon.
Yeah, where was this industry rate project?
Yeah, I want to know this too. I'm like, I know I'm not a VA or anything like that.
Right,
I'm just super curious. I didn't know this.
I worked on it too as a writer. It's basically it's a visual novel choice-based game.
Yeah, it's like a pony dating sim.
Yeah,
Oh,
essentially.
And it's really well done, but
Yeah, no, it really is. I was on the team for a bit as a freelance writer on it.
Do you got a link or anything like this?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, do you got a link?
Yep, hang on.
Yeah, I definitely want to put this in the chat. Like, my God,
Rouge.
I didn't even know this was an option in the fandom these days, or if ever.
No, if
Oh,
ever
Rouge.
is not a question. I'm just surprised in 2020 there's industry rate jobs in Pony.
Yeah.
I know, it's surprised me.
Yeah. Rouge, Avatar does have experience with Angel. Before this all went down, Angel had her commissions open. Avatar and another commissioned her. Angel then pretty much removed them from her friends list and everything, and has promised to give the money back, but there's no sign of it yet. That's Avatar's experience with it.
Jesus.
Holy crap.
Yeah, like...
She sounds less like Fluttershy and more like Zephyr Breeze.
Well, she was calling herself Fluttershy.
You know
and
what?
then-
That joking aside, that is literally her. That is what she was. She was just going from house to house. Like there was a big argument she had with her aunt that claimed auntie was abusing her, and then I look back on it, I was like, well, yeah, okay, it was loud, maybe too aggressive, but the moral of the standing is your aunt wants you to get a job
Yeah, it seems
and
like
finish your
everyone-
education.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
That's what
seems
happened.
Like everyone who she said was abusive was just people who were like, "Hey, you need to take a little, you need to pull your weight a little bit more,"
Mhm.
and then she'd go, "Oh,
That's
it's abuse."
literally what it was. That's literally what it was. She did the same to us. She went through Wobbs's phone, the DMs to me on Discord. She went through them behind Wobbs's back, then got angry at us because in the DMs we were both talking about how we were just tired with this, how we've done this dance 3 years and Angel's not getting a job. It's not going anywhere. It's just da 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 na 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 na.
So the truth hurts this person more than
Yeah, and then
anything,
she came,
apparently.
then I was going for a walk and I asked if she wanted to come, and she goes on this 20-minute rant about like, oh my god, I can't believe like you try to say that you care about me when you were talking about me behind my back and don't even care about me. I don't care what you think. You've done nothing for me. Da 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 da. Like, it's like
We made her go fucking fund me for her so she could move
Well,
and
I mean,
everything.
well, you
I
gotta
wrote the
remember
damn
your
thing.
Success is the only thing standing in her way of success. You gotta keep in mind.
That's literally what it feels like.
Coming
That's
from-
literally what it feels like, Inspector.
it's crazy. Like, I mean, pretty much. That's, I mean, good God. Ugh.
Sounds like
Like
someone working
I
different
remember
than
when we went to HarmonyCon and she was like, "Oh, I want to market and meet people to
I'm gonna
work
network.
with."
I'm gonna get myself out there at this con. No,
and
I'm
then
just kidding.
she complained like people were talking to her, people were genuinely interested in her, and then she came home and complained that nobody wanted to talk to her, no one was
Everyone's
interested
an
in her.
asshole here.
Asshole but
Bunch
mean.
of dicks.
It's
All
crazy.
these people wanting to talk to me at this convention. Put your
No, there was
asshole.
no. That's the thing though, Inspector. You're laughing at that, and yeah, humorous, what funny and all that.
I've met people
But
like
people
that. I know.
did no.
yeah.
That's
yeah.
the point. That's the point. That's the crux. People were talking about her. People were talking to her. There was a
Too
person
good
called
for everyone, dude.
There
yeah.
was a person called Diz, great person, musician. She's a great person. She came to visit. I sounded like Trump then.
Wait,
Great
who was it?
person. It's huge. She came to.
Great person. No, great
She came
reputation,
to-
that's good stuff.
Great
I would-
reputation's absolutely perfect.
I
She
would
came
I would
to- she
hire
came
to
to
be a
visit
British
World-
Trump, but I wouldn't be able to pay your rights. Go ahead.
I charge.
What was
But,
the name again? Sorry, I missed that part.
Diz. And
Diz,
Diz was a
okay.
musician and came to visit Wobbs and Angel after HarmonyCon in their house in Texas. And it was a pleasant discussion. They talked pleasantly to each other. You know, it was a good time. And they did some voices for Diz. Diz, I can't remember the exact wording because, you know, I had, you know,
Wait,
life to
didn't they
live.
do Capcom
Yeah.
But
promo,
I can't remember. I can't
Yeah.
remember. I honestly couldn't tell you
I
if
know
you.
what Diz is though. Yeah.
Brilliant. She's awesome. And she comes in and yada yada talks. Clay and says something very positive about Wubs' Adagio voice. I can't remember the exact wording because I wasn't there. And
Basically, what it was she was talking about the project that I helped her with some Adagio voice work, and she was saying like, "Oh, like I love the way your Adagio voice is, yada yada," and like she said that she liked Angel's Adagio voice too, but then like several months later, Angel brings up, "Well, when Diz was saying how much she liked your Adagio, like it made me feel like crap because she was like, 'Oh, I love your Adagio, but yeah, Angel is okay.'" And I'm like, she didn't even say it like that. Like, it's just like really stupid
Look,
shit.
here's
Comparison truly is the
Yeah, what
thief of joy.
her
yeah, was this person-
perpetual lifestyle is jealousy.
was she
And
a
that's
good
the
voice
patheticness
actor
of it.
or what? Like,
Honestly, she took direction badly, but honestly,
no
and that's
job.
not an
Okay.
insult because
Yeah,
she was new, but I didn't hate her. She worked on my stuff
Right, but an
before we
actor's
talked.
job
Yeah.
is to listen to the director.
I
That's-
have a quick
But
question.
she did that well.
I have a quick question. How did you guys run into Angel Love that you got like tied into this really though?
That's
I met her way back when Victor Vortex was around.
Great.
In
That's
Harmony
weird.
Studios
Wonderful.
and all those places.
Okay.
Yep.
Go on.
Back when they were relevant. Wow. Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh my
Or no,
gosh.
back when they were
Back when he
struggling for relevancy anyway. But
Oh
then,
my God. My gosh, back when Victor wasn't outed yet. But
this is about 4 years ago.
yeah, this is like 5
he
years.
hadn't even been outed, and they were still struggling.
Well,
But
to be
yeah,
fair,
go
he
on.
had confessed by the time we found
Yeah,
him.
I met Angel like just through that group and everything.
Yeah, no
and
doubt.
I don't know. We just started talking and having fun and VA stuff. Girly, fun times.
Oh, VA stuff.
You know how it is.
And then I found her 4 years ago when I started talking to Wubs. Wubs just invited me into a call one day and I met her. There's nothing really spectacular there. And then when me and Wubs started dating, we just collectively started talking to Angel.
Yeah.
And we viewed her as our best friend. Like she called me bro and I called her sis. Like we were genuinely close. This
Mhm.
wasn't like an associate's gone rogue. This was legitimately one of our closest friends. It's what pissed us off so much about all this. You've never done anything for me and all this. Like, you fucking kidding me? Like, we bailed you a GoFundMe. We found you homes. We set things up. We were there for you constantly. We were always there for it for 3 fucking years. And then she goes through our messages and sees we're going to be honest. We had caretaker's fatigue. We'd been looking after her for so long. We were starting to feel like parents. And you shouldn't feel that way with your friends.
Yeah.
And we were just like, look, she's not doing this.
Well,
she's
you're
not doing that.
taking
It's
up
getting
so much
tiring.
responsibility.
How old was she?
We literally, she's 21.
Okay.
Oh.
I've known her since she was 18, but she wasn't like a kid and then got thrust into a bad
No,
situation.
she just
She's
took
an
up way
adult.
too much space in your life, apparently.
Yeah. She
Well, the worst thing is, privately we were getting ticked off, but we were still helping her up until she flipped on us.
Yep.
What was
But then
was doing a voice demo for her and everything.
Yep.
She was in my projects. Like we were it literally felt like just a switch.
One of the scrummies until it wasn't. Yeah.
When she saw that we were talking about her, and let's keep in mind the stuff that we were talking about was stuff that we had actually said to her too.
That's
like,
it
you
too.
need to get
That's
a
the
job,
irony.
and you need to stop just wasting your money on plushies, because she would do that. Like if she had made any like commission money by chance, which would be like $20 or $40 or whatever at most, she would just spend it on plushies. Or
I've
cutesy
just-
witchy kawaii desu
Mhm.
items, and we're just
Yeah,
like,
the
you need to like
decorations
help
for the
out with the
room.
house. Like
That's
The
a
perfect
wonderful
way
spent
to-
of money.
But describe Angel's mentality, and it's a stupid mentality, is this. So paint the picture. Me and Wubs are talking, and I say this. Hey, Wubs, F&GR, does he always have to make his streams an hour long? They're fucking tiring. Something pathetic like that. No, hear me out. There's logic to my madness.
Mhm.
You would say something like that, And if Angel found out that you had said that without Angel being in the room, Angel considers that abuse and talking behind your back and being scummy. Angel doesn't understand what abuse is. She had it genuinely bad with her mom. Mom was, we're not even going to go into that box because it was a genuinely disgusting box. But when she left that, she expected it all to be sunshine and rainbows, everyone's my friend. But that's not how the real world works. Some people were just roommates. Some people were just getting on with their life.
No.
So it twisted to, I'm British, that's why someone in the chat. And it came that if you were basically not on her side 24/7, constantly kissing her ass, you were abusive, you were talking behind her back, and that sort of mentality became incredibly toxic to the point where she turned on us two, who'd been there for 4 years. Our friend Aaron was in a call with her, literally talking, and I think he said to Aaron, like, oh, it doesn't matter, I don't care about you guys.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care what you think.
I have
Just turns on people constantly.
Well, the other question though, when you were you cued in and seeing this before, like when you brought Angel Love into your house, did you think, oh, they've just all done it wrong? We're the ones, we've got it right. It's just, I'm curious.
Well, basically, because when Angel first moved in with us, like, we were like, oh, okay, well, she's been through abuse with her mom and all these other different people that she's lived with, so she's gonna need, you know, psychological help. And, you know, but Envy, her boyfriend, couldn't get her help because he was the main one paying for everything for her. And he couldn't get her help.
Including her rent.
Yeah, because he didn't have the extra money. Well, she wasn't a tenant, so she didn't have rent.
No, I'd like to just point that out. I've just remembered, just a quick note in them. All these houses she stayed in, rent-free, bill-free.
Yeah.
Occasionally giving stuff to... Yeah, occasionally... Yeah, she hasn't paid rent at all since ever.
She's never paid any rent at
Or
all.
bills.
Wow, she's a leech. Okay.
Yeah, she's a leech,
so
literal
that's
leech.
why people would get pissed off at her and say, like, look, you
No
need to
shit.
get a job, because she would
Pull
just
your
be
weight
sitting on
around here.
Discord.
Yeah.
Did
Or
anyone
being
try and explain
outside
this to her
drawing
before she got
ponies.
in, or what?
Yes, we had explained to... Like, even like, literally, we're not kidding when we said everything she tried to turn on us, every bad thing, we had a talk with her about it. We'd sat her down, say, have you got a job yet? Maybe you need to get a job. Maybe you need to do this. Maybe you need to do that. We had done all that. Literally, I think what it is with the benefit of hindsight, me and Wubs were giving her chances because she was a close friend. We were caring about her. And we genuinely had seen her come from a legitimately abusive, there's no question there, household. So unfortunately, we were just sort of very accepting and sort of, well, you know, maybe if we try this way, we'll do it. We'll try it this way, we'll do it. We'll try it because we were just trying to be there for her. We were just trying to give her some assistance because she'd always talked to us about how she wants to get a job, how she wants to do therapy. So we just sort of kept going with it.
Yeah.
And because there was always another house move, that's it too. You've also got to remember, whenever another house move occurred, all that stuff got pushed to the side, and that was the focus.
I got all this stress and
situated.
moving I got to deal with right now, guys. I can't even think about that. Like this.
Joking aside, yeah, that was the mentality.
Yeah,
like
no,
it was.
it sounds like
That's
an
the focus
excuse.
now.
Yeah, sounds like an excuse. It's a good
Well,
excuse.
With hindsight, it is excuse. It was an excuse because it kept
like-
coming up.
Well,
sorry.
yeah, I was about to say I'm willing to take it at face value. They really did legitimately want to voice act, didn't they?
Well, like,
Angel did, yeah.
Okay, yeah, like, it's weird.
Yeah, but you
At
gotta
this point,
hustle.
I don't
if
even
you
know
really want
because
to. Yeah.
The
because
way-
at
the
one
way it
hand
came
she would
off-
say, well, at one hand she would say, like, I want to, like, do voice acting stuff, but then, like, she didn't
Well,
want to, but then she wanted
honestly-
to, and then she told me she was quitting, and then she was gonna keep doing it, you know. And
But
it's
they
like,
were able to weasel their way into getting close to you, so that makes me think
Well, hold
they wanted
it.
to voice act.
Here. Let me push back on that, Bernie. If you really wanted to do this, do you really like? I have a hard time believing that she was maniacal enough to be like, I don't need to work now or follow my dreams. I've got this nice, lofty place to stay. I don't know, man. I think that there must have been clearly something not, you know,
There's
something was rolling
No,
around up there.
I can figure out.
There's
Oh,
nothing
yeah,
like that.
like,
There's no maniacalism. There's no sort
No,
of "Wahaha." Honestly,
Yeah.
she's not intelligent enough for that.
Let me
What
see
it
if either
was-
of these guys know the answer to this. I can figure out how serious she was about voice acting with one question. What mic did she use?
she used a headset mic originally.
Nope.
That was when
not
she was with her
serious.
mom.
Oh, yeah,
That's
no.
when she was with a mom who wouldn't buy her anything.
Not
Oh, right, and
serious.
then
No,
Envy
you
ended
your
up
own
buying
money
her
and
Blue
buy a
Yeti
mic, yeah.
Nano.
Inspector, not to be rude, but you've just basically nothing you've said matters because you've got to consider the situation when she was starting out. I say with quotations, she was with her mom who was not allowing her these things, was worried that people would steal her off the
Well,
internet.
right,
You know,
and
proper
like you
paranoid
said,
stuff.
you weren't getting into the situation with the mom. I get that. That
Exactly.
was like an actual like
Mhm. That was a legit
a manipulative
abusive situation.
Right,
Yeah,
right,
like
right, right, right.
yeah, that's it too. You've got to remember if you were to take this out, Angel was a tragic character at one point because she legitimately did come from a really scummy place.
I don't
I've
like-
seen it.
most people never
And-
overcome the scummy place they
Well,
come
hold
from.
it. I think I'm not beating up on you, Brony, but I sense you might be upsetting the guest. So let me just ask.
Yeah, sorry. I'll
All right,
really-
yeah.
But,
Like, well, real
my
quick.
thing-
Oh, go ahead.
Sorry.
No, take it.
I was just gonna say, like, my whole thing with Angel was, yeah, she did come from a crummy place, but I feel like she just couldn't fathom the difference between a crummy place and a genuinely good place, or people who were trying to help her, which is very strange to think about considering the fact that she would always come to me and North for help or advice or whatnot. But it said loads to us when she wouldn't even take that advice. Like, she had every opportunity to get therapy, to get a job, whatnot. We told her, if you don't know something, look it up. Google is your friend. And she just wouldn't do it. She acted stupid. Like, I'm going to say she genuinely acted like she didn't know how to do anything. Her excuse would always be, I don't know how to do that. I don't know how to do that. Like, her boyfriend was trying to teach her how to read a thermometer, and she ended up having a panic attack because she couldn't figure it out. Like,
Did she ever
it
go to
was
a
just so...
Did she ever go to a therapy session ever?
No, well, no, wait. She did in Chicago, but it was on some school campus grounds.
It was a
she
school
on.
council.
And
It was a school counselor.
The ironic part is she would rave to me about, this therapist is so good, they're so good. But then when she moved in with us, she took every excuse not to get therapy. If I ever mentioned it, that was like new trauma in her life of me just mentioning to get therapy because she wanted personal attention from me and her current boyfriend. She didn't want any
She didn't
help
want any of the
from
good
the
drugs
outside.
the therapist was going to give her.
No, she didn't want any help from the outside. She always wanted attention from me and him.
Brony, after this podcast,
know?
I'm going to show you a pod where you could learn a trick or two.
Okay.
Yeah, it was obvious that, like, I mean, she really looked up to me. Like, again, it was constant comparisons to me on everything I do. Every time I do a new voice, she had to do the same exact voice. Every time I got into some anime, she wanted to get in the new one. Every time I got into cosplay, she wanted to get into that. I wanted to go to this con. It was this constant, you're doing it, I need to do it too. And at first I was like, okay, copying is flattery.
Coattails. That's what that is. Yeah.
But then it started to dawn on me that she didn't know how to be her own person. The only thing she ever defined of herself was, oh, I'm like Fluttershy, but I'm also like Lust from Full Metal Alchemist. Stuff like that. And I'm just like, okay. Oh, and she's a furry now. And, I'm like, okay. And I would just kind of nod my head like, all right. But I don't know, like, it just got to the point where it just showed a lot to me the day she freaking lashed out at me when I was like, look, why are you being, because she started giving, her and her boyfriend started giving me and our other roommate the cold shoulder when Angel was like, oh, you're talking about me. Like, for days, we all, like, acted like nobody existed. Like, we were all just doing our own thing, but they were giving me the cold shoulder. And then I just spoke up and said, I can't believe you guys can just pretend like me and Greed don't exist. And Angel turns around like, oh, so you want to talk now, huh? And I'm just like, what the fuck? Because, like, she just brings in this, like, it really showed me just who she was. She just brings in this attitude with me. And I was like, look, you don't have a job. You haven't been paying any rent or bills here. You've been living here for free. And when I confront you about that, you act like I'm the devil. And she's like, well, how about you? How about you get a real job, Wubcake? And I'm just like, I have a fucking job. I'm a full-time voice actor. I can support myself. And she's like, And she's giving me, like, this black sassiness. Like, rolling her eyes and snapping her fingers and, rolling her head and all this stuff at me.
Angel is black for just the record.
Yeah, but then
Oh,
when
is
I
she?
like actually when I
Thanks.
actually pointed out
Wubcake's
certain
not
things
black.
about her, she lashed out at me and attacked me.
To the point where her boyfriend had to. We're not talking like the movies hold back, where it's around the shoulders as the legs go. We're talking
Yeah.
pushed her to the ground and sat on her.
He was literally
was
on the
lashing
ground,
that out.
getting his arms banged up by her because she was trying to claw at me like a freaking wild animal.
Wait.
Like, I shit you not.
Is that when the police
We
got
literally
involved?
do know.
Yes, this is
Yes.
what this is when the police got involved. So basically, she started attacking me and shit like that. And he was holding her down on the floor saying, "Honey, you need to stop. You can't attack her." You know, and she was just like, "Let me go," and like screaming, and she was throwing stuff around like a little child. And then here's the ironic part. After that, she gets up and she tries to because I was like just calm during the whole thing. I was like, "Wow, this is ridiculous. I can't believe you're doing this." You know, and then after that, she gets up acting so calm and just giving me this whatever like attitude about it. And I was like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, you can't act like
And
you're
then-
fine. You literally just had a temper tantrum on the floor.
Yeah, and then she went down the oh so calm aspect of mentioning Wubbs' dead mom, trying to say stuff was wrong between me and her. Yeah, like Angel lashed out that day like proper scumbag. For those who don't know, Wubbs' mum
Oh, we
passed
have it
sadly when she was
recorded.
9. Yeah,
Wow.
someone recorded it, and it just got for prosperity in case the police tried to say anything.
Man after
But
my own
it was
heart.
just ridiculous how far it went.
Yeah, she called me a
And-
dyke and everything, and I was like, you
Yeah.
can't even call me that. You're bisexual.
He was dumb.
You know,
Well, bisexual rage will make people
Right,
say
right.
dumb
Right,
things.
Brody,
apparently.
Brody.
But
Let me call the person who's engaged a dyke to a man. Like that's just the
so
mentality.
mean.
Like
Yeah, I
her
get it.
thinking doesn't. Her thinking. All she wanted was. I'm something just quickly because I remembered we never mentioned this, but FNGR brought up a good point. She's not a maniacal person. She's not intelligent enough to be maniacal. And I'm not saying that to be an insult. She literally isn't intelligent enough to be maniacal. It started out with her legitimately wanting to get away from an abuser.
Yeah.
And then as time went on, she couldn't fathom that it's not abuse to say pull your way, and it's also not abuse to be annoyed if you try and wake someone up to do something, which is what Angel had done to Panda. This is the
take a
legit
guess?
situation.
Then
Go ahead.
normally this is where I would make a snide remark. It like reminds me of somebody, but maybe you taught me a little something just now. Do you think it's just they went to what they felt comfortable with what they know?
That's literally what I was about to say. It literally became that she didn't have to pay rent and people were loving her, or she'd move, and it just continued and continued and
Yep.
continued, to the point where when she got to Wubbs' place, she was riding envy. So she felt like, well, I can't do anything. Envy's on the lease. I'm not going to move again. I'm free. And it sort of the real sort of, again, not maniacalness, but that sort of scummy interior that was
Opportunistic, maybe is the word
not
you're
even,
looking
not
for.
even opportunistic. Angel, you're really overestimating Angel's intelligence. We once spent an hour trying to help her see one of those optical illusions where it's a dog, but if you turn it to its right, it becomes a human. We had literally
Hologram or a magic eye?
But Brony, just focus. But the point I'm trying to get across here is it possible?
and she doesn't know these things, so it's literally just came to the fact that she just became comfortable in what she wasn't expecting it, but it's what she became used to. She was comfortable in not having to do therapy. She was comfortable in not having to get a job. She was comfortable in just feigning anxiety to get out of things. It became the norm.
Yeah, there was so much shit that I had to teach her. That's why we felt like parents. You know, I had to teach her how to freaking wash her hair, how to take care of herself. You know, it
And
was
that
crazy.
failed. You had to shave the damn thing.
Yeah.
Oof.
It was Angel is someone who wanted to do something for good, get away from an abuser, and began leaving. But it then became comfort to just do nothing. And then start blaming other people. Literally, for example, I've mentioned this earlier. The first house she went to was Quill and Panda. Quill, I don't care. But Panda, I think, was a very good influence on her, was very firm but fair.
Yeah.
May
And I
I
think if
real
she just-
quick on that? I know
Go ahead.
it's real real easy to hate on Quill. But there have been
No, I mean because Quill was never anything more than just a friend. There was never anything else
Right,
with
right,
that.
right,
If you know what I mean.
right.
I wasn't trying to like insult Quill. I mean just literally nothing else was happening there. So I'm not going to use that.
Okay.
No knock on Quill. But Panda was a legit good person to be around, and I think if they'd have stayed like that in that situation till now, for example, I think Angel wouldn't have had half the problem she has now. But the problem is she went out of her house expecting everyone to sort of be the the Disneyfied version. Everyone's perfect and no one gets angry at me. No one's ever this, no one's ever that. And like, but when Angel got the reality of, she tried to scream the N-word in the middle of a supermarket as a joke, and Panda and Quill just went like, "What are you doing? Don't do that. Don't do that." And she can't physically understand that it's nothing personal. It's just you don't do that. But she took it as abuse. And then that mindset then continued. Like towards the end of our friendship, I was constantly telling her, no, Quill and Panda weren't bad for you. They were actually quite good for you, actually.
Yeah.
And you could tell it just annoyed her behind her eyes, if you know what I mean. That I kept saying that and I wasn't accepting they were abusers. And then when she went to Bucky, that was fine. But Bucky's parents wanted her to basically do something with her life. So Angel asked us to come talk to Bucky's parents to see if we can get them to lay off. And within 5 minutes, we were instantly going, no, absolutely true. And Angel just went quiet and sulky on us because we weren't giving her the idealism that she now craved and desired and thought she was entitled to. And then it just kept going on and on until Angel finally snaps.
I wanted to mention the thing that reminded me to talk to Wub is recently Rouge's roommate had came back, picked up a couple things, broke some crap on the way out.
Ooh.
And I was like, I don't know if anyone's tipped anyone off about Angel Love yet. And, the fact that she's gotten into this, 6, 7 times?
7.
7. Yeah.
She now lives with her boyfriend's parents, so it's this 7. She now lives with her boyfriend's parents.
Yeah, because when the cops got involved, they arrested her for domestic assault, and basically his parents went and bailed her and paid to bail her out of jail.
She's on bail pending court appearance now.
Yep. So she's living with the parents, and she's there talking smack about me, and saying like, "Oh, they were such bad people," and stuff like that, and just, it's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
Really is just a juvenile mind that never
She's a child.
surpassed that point.
She is a child. It was a running joke, and it was a legit joke. We weren't trying to offend each other, but me and Angel would make the joke that she was mentally 5, but then she'd like do something a grown up, and I'd say she's mentally become like 7 or something. It was a joke between me and her.
Yeah.
I think the last one we got up to was 10. And it was literally that was the case. Like she used a wash on her, and it's like, you are mentally 8. And it was just a little joke. It was we laughed about it. But
I know you don't.
This, I'm now thinking that's the truth. She literally was. Like mentally, she wasn't a grown-up, and that was causing the problem.
You seem like you didn't feel comfortable talking about her past experience with her parents. Well, try and keep it vague, and you can easily say pass. Did they teach her any kind of social skills or any kind of?
She never knew her father. She never knew her father because her mother openly said, "I refuse to let your father see you," because he's a man.
He's a what?
Because
he's a man.
Okay.
She's one of those.
All right.
No. Her mother's mentality. Well, I just don't want to talk about what mother did, if you know what I mean. But her mother was basically a scumbag who openly said, "I tried to drink you to death in the womb," and then when Angel was born, would just baby her. Like said, "You're never gonna have to go out. I'll go out for you." It's Mother Gothel from Rapunzel.
Pretty freaking much.
And that mentality was literally that. Angel wasn't taught anything because I'll do it for you. Like that was literally it. Whenever Mum talked about moving out, it was like, "Oh yes, and you'll come with me." It was always all that sort of mentality. Like, I'm moving, you're coming with me. I'm living forever, you're coming with me. No, she dropped out of high school. That's why when she went to Bucky's parents wanted her to do her GED.
What were you saying, Wubcake?
No, it's okay. What was I gonna say? Shit, I forgot. I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, I can't remember.
I was just gonna say, like, if she hasn't seen this, show her this. I think it's a really good.
We can't. She blocked us.
Yeah, she blocked me on Twitter. So
Yeah, I tried to talk to her, going, "Why are you saying we don't appreciate you? We were going to make you the
Well,
bridesmaid at our wedding and all this," but she just couldn't accept it.
As a not
She just
so
can't accept it.
as a not so wise man once said, and nothing of value was lost.
pretty much, Jesus, yeah.
It's feeling like that, honestly.
Hindsight, yeah.
I could
mean,
probably show this to her, but then I'd probably get blocked instantly.
Probably.
I'm assuming that there was probably a lot more damage that anyone in our fandom could have ever have hoped to fix, and they just don't seem like they're willing. Yeah, I feel sympathetic, but much
We did
akin,
too.
yeah, much akin to probably trying to save a drowning person. I feel like I would just get dragged down.
Yeah, and I think like the thing that really just hurt the most was like how she just said like, "Oh, you guys have never done anything for me. You've never helped me." And I literally went into her face and told her, "Angel, we started a GoFundMe for you. There's people who didn't even know you that gave you money."
Yeah,
And
we
she was like,
we
okay.
fucking defended her against you, FNGR. She came to us saying, "I don't like that FNGR. He keeps on like saying this. He doesn't trust me, and I don't get why." This is when the GoFundMe happened.
I don't
And
think
we
I
were like,
remember
"Well, it's
doing
not-
that.
Yeah, but well, maybe she didn't. I don't believe anything she's ever said now. I genuinely take everything she said with salt. But she literally came to us saying, "I don't like the FNGR. He was making me feel bad. He made me feel like I was wrong for this and all this."
You know
And
what? It's possible I might have talked shit on Twitter, but I say a lot of Brony. I say a lot of random passive shitty things on Twitter to try not to take it personal. It's literally the shittiest social media platform. Yeah, it's possible. I don't remember it. I didn't commit
it was
to
on
them.
stream.
Okay.
It was either during the Victor Vortex thing, which you did cover, or the GoFundMe, which you did talk about. I just can't remember exactly what, because again, it's been years.
I know what it was. It
Go ahead.
was basically when she came to me accusing freaking Secret Dreamer of stealing money from her, taking advantage of the fact that she had money and whatnot, and her wanting to buy a laptop, and Secret Dreamer being like, "I don't know about that" or something. And I don't know, I think
I'll be honest with you.
FNGR,
If that came across the thing, I'm like, if you think you're gonna strong arm Secret Dreamer, you were gonna have a bad day. Yeah, I probably was a massive jackass about that. I'm like, no, I didn't know anything about Angel Love beyond that. Dreamer never came to me to bitch about Angel Love, nor did Quill.
It might have been me then. I don't know.
It's highly probable if I found out about basically her trying to fucking dig into Secret Dreamer.
Okay, she was trying to. I think the main point was like she was trying to buy herself a new laptop, like with the GoFundMe money, and I don't know.
Essentially,
that GoFundMe money went in a freaking week. I'm gonna tell you guys that right now.
Yeah, it was gone. It was gone in 5 minutes. It was ridiculous.
Why is there so many?
I made that.
Shout out to Mint Heart. We know that'll be your money in a week. Anyways.
How do you go through that much money in a week?
Crap.
Plushies, buying
just
plushies.
crap.
Yeah.
Just crap. Like literally, none of it went to anything important. But the reality of the situation is that ain't like, I'm not trying to drag on, but yeah. So we always defended her in every aspect we could, even when it was people we actually have, an association with or friendship with. We'd like always go, well, maybe it's not that, maybe it's this, and she'd be like, okay, yeah. Week later, repeat.
This may be the most unlikable person I never met. Jeez.
Honestly, I don't blame anymore.
I usually have an example of someone like that, but they're kind of in their own league.
I mean, it's crazy because she was at a point where we just felt like we were walking on eggshells with her, because she would always claim that she could have a panic attack or an anxiety attack. That's another thing, is when she would rave about how she went to therapy and everything, she said that she got diagnosed with generalized anxiety disorder. And ever since she got diagnosed with that, I don't know if that's legit or not, she would use that as an excuse for literally everything. It's my anxiety. It's my anxiety. It's my anxiety. I can't do that because it's my anxiety. I can't learn that because it's my anxiety.
She just realized she got a new
shield
shield and now wants to use it.
Like, okay, so I think a very good example to just sum everything up was one time I was trying to show her like how to do something on the computer, and I was like, oh, go to the top right, and she went to like the bottom left, and I was like, oh, no, the top right, like in that sort of inflection, and she's like, oh, I'm sorry, because she would always like act like that when she talks, and then I showed her how to do it, left, went to my own room, didn't think anything of it, whatever, and 2 minutes later she comes knocking on my door and she's like, can we talk about what just happened? And I was like, wait, what happened? And I thought she was gonna say like, I don't know, somebody bothered her on the internet or something. But she's like, well, it's just when you say like, no, that makes me feel like a dog. Like I don't like when people talk to me like that. Like she would touch. That's how she would talk. Like she was, so insecure and scared and having an anxiety attack all the time. Like I don't know. It's just
And
it was
sometimes it
getting
made
stuff like
sense.
that.
Sometimes it made sense because she'd legitimately like be doing something for the first time, or she'd be overwhelmed. You'd think, okay, well that makes sense. A quote I remember hearing is, "The best liar weaves truth into their deception." So
Yeah.
take that into consideration. Take all the negatives, but remember there was a legit sprinkling, if you will, of legitimate moments of bad, legitimate moments of trauma. So we kept on thinking, well, it'll be this, it'll be this, it'll be this. And that's why we kept defending her almost, but we didn't even cut contact with her. She cut contact with us because she then started accusing us of being the same as her abusers.
Nope.
Yeah.
No offense,
All
but
we've
you
done
guys,
is help her.
you should have probably have cut her off first.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely. We know. Don't get us wrong. We're there with you, mate. It's just the unfortunate of timing.
Mm-hmm.
I would have just assumed that you may have been too invested already after.
Maybe a part of that's there, but you've also got to remember there were moments in between all this where we'd be in a call laughing our asses off over just having fun together. So there was a legit friendship there too. It wasn't just we have to do this for Angel because we're her social work or carers. There was a legit friendship there. Something was legitimately lost when all this went down.
The thing is, like, it got to the point where it was like, if we didn't help her with her anxiety, she would get really sad, and no one cares about me, and my life is terrible, and I should have stayed with my mom in Chicago, stuff like that.
That's where the caretaker fatigue came in.
And yeah,
no, I do have an example of someone like that. The Rouge, you still there?
Yeah.
Well, who's the girl that Delia? When we ended up helping her from getting away from her 3 predators, and we told her she couldn't stop doing that, she ran back to Future Husky, which is literally one of the guys who was, basically creeping on her. Familiarity, I guess. I'm not a medical person. It just, I don't know.
It's like a weird Stockholm syndrome.
I don't want to change. New shit
Mitty
is
again.
scary. Yeah.
Because
she's also friends with Mitty again, so she's friends with 2 of her predators.
Jesus.
Because okay, so my thing with Angel is, coming from somebody who used to deal with depression, is some people can get very comfortable in that negative zone, not like acting like a jerk, but I mean in the whole, no one cares about me, no one cares what I want to think, I should have just stayed in Chicago with my mom and blah blah blah, because that's all, I guess that's all they really know how to deal with, and it's like, but it's tiresome when they constantly ask you for help, or can we talk about my issues, can we talk about my problems, can we talk about this, and you're like, okay, sure, but then it's just, again, like North said, caretaker fatigue. It was constant. Like every other day she would have an anxiety attack, and I was like, this is so frequent. I don't remember it being this frequent when we would like talk all the time online. And again, like I mentioned, it would just get pettier and pettier and pettier and pettier. Like there's an instance where we went out for the whole day, me, her, and her boyfriend. And he was the one with the car, so he would drive us. And we went from store to store to store to catch up on things we needed to, get, like food and whatnot. And she said in her very extremely quiet voice, you think we can go to Kroger and Sonic? He genuinely didn't hear what she said. Genuinely didn't hear her. And I asked, "Hey, Target's right there. Do you mind if we like walk over because I need to pick up a couple of things?" And he's like, "Sure." When we got into Target, she sat down on the floor and had a panic attack about it.
What?
About, "Oh, no, nothing I say is
wait
important.
until-
Nothing I say is important. Nobody cares what I
wait-
have to say," and
Wait
stuff like
until
that.
you were in a public place to freak out.
That's how it was.
Had to make a scene. Wonderful.
Yeah.
As long as it took up a lot of space in your day, then
She would
was
have
willing
a
to freak
panic
out.
attack
Yeah.
because I could buy something at the store and she didn't have any money.
Mm.
So the point I wanted to make for anybody watching, if you're in the audience, if you see someone with a lot of problems and you're a real close friend, you might not be able to help as much as you want to.
Right. Sometimes it's just up to them. And if people have stuff like anxiety, depression, etc., and you say, "Hey, I found some resources to help you," that's all you can do. If they refuse that help, that's their own personal choice. That doesn't mean it's your fault. The best you can do is just, hey, you encourage them, you sent them a link or whatever. That's all you can do. And if somebody wants to sit there and try to guilt trip you, saying, "You never helped me, you never did anything for me," well, it's not true. And I'm pretty sure y'all know deep down that it's not true,
Yeah, take
That's
us as
why
a
they-
cautionary tale.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
tried to help her so much, and there's nothing more we could have done other than physically drag her physically into the goddamn therapy and nailed her ass to the chair,
Yeah.
which is
Yeah, I
sadly
was about to
illegal.
say, have you ever physically forced her to go to therapy or psychiatrist of any sort?
I literally signed her up for therapy, and then she just didn't go to it.
No,
So-
she did attend one session, but you know what happened?
I dread to
What?
think.
I thought I already told you this. Okay, she attended one session, and the guy got to the point where he asked okay, so you have all this stuff that's happened. Have you tried any coping mechanisms or any hobbies or anything like that? And she's like, "Oh, well, I draw and sometimes do voice stuff." And he was like, "Oh, okay, that's on the right track." She took him saying that as in, "Hey, you don't need any therapy, so you're perfectly fine." That's what she told me.
Oh,
She said that
this.
she's like, "Oh, I don't need therapy. He said that I'm already on the right track." And I'm just
I
like,
repressed
"Oh my
this
God."
because it just annoyed me so much.
Wow.
And I was just like,
It's a
I don't need.
start.
I don't need to. I
fine.
don't need to do the rest of my sentencing. I've stopped killing.
Well, that's a start. I'm fine.
my gosh.
Oh, is this the same Angel Love who's been molested by Victor Vortex? Yeah, this was the same woman who was groomed by Victor Vortex. That's the sort of horrible.
Oh crap!
What
Did
was
you
that?
not know
We're
this?
just putting that
Now that
together.
I remember it, crap. Yeah, Jesus.
Yeah, this is the same. I told you this was the same Angel Love.
Well, you said that.
Okay,
No. Hold. You said that this was the Angel Love from the Victor Vortex thing. I didn't specifically understand that it was Victor's victim.
Victim.
Yeah.
Victor's
How many,
victim.
how many
Yeah.
angels were there?
Many.
We're in the
Yes,
brony
yeah.
fandom, man. How many
Oh.
goddamn whimsical, fruity tooty, freaking
six? Yeah.
wishy-washy
Touche.
names? Yes.
Okay, yeah, she was
that's-
FNG, Victor's. I was about to say FNGR's victim. She was Victor Vortex's
hope
victim.
not.
3. Fight me.
Jar
Anyways.
Oh, really? Okay.
Come in my house. Kick up your feet on the coffee table like that.
Dude,
Well, I'll
not
make
the
a video
rug,
of
not
you
the
too.
rug.
Not on the rug.
Aw.
But no, I when I heard Victor's kid, I just assumed it was some young fragile, kid.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, Angel was a fragile kid when it occurred.
Okay.
And
Jeez.
So let's see, just to keep track. So we had Angel having the GoFundMe for, was it $3,000, and then she had claimed people were abusive, and then she told us about Victor. He got outed, and then suddenly we're abusive people. So, oh
that's the
my
way the
god,
cookie crumbles.
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
I-
that's it.
I-
If you did anything other than kiss her ass, you were abusive,
yeah, pretty much.
and that's why I think
and
at least I
her-
agreed to come onto
her-
this.
Yeah, her logic of because she got, I honestly think she got obsessed with attention from people, because her logic was if someone compliments Wubcake, they have to compliment me at the same time. Otherwise, I'm going to get depressed and have an anxiety attack.
Well, that's praise that you stole from her. I don't see what the issue
I
is.
know.
Here.
I'm so evil.
So evil, Wubcake.
How dare you have a successful? You're the only thing holding her back from her success.
Anthony, you need to do a video on me stealing her horse fame.
Who?
Angel's horse.
Well, you clearly did. I don't
Precisely.
see what the.
Precisely.
Jesus. I feel bad whenever
As the
I
force
tap.
name has any relevance. These
Yeah,
days.
I typically feel bad when I tap Wub on the shoulder. I'm like, I hope I'm not freaking him out or anything like that. That's what my main thought
I'm
was.
not gonna lie. Today, my first thought was,
You
"Oh God,
did.
he was being a pedophile this time."
No!
That I know.
Avenger, it literally happened that way. She said, she literally said, "I've just gone onto Idle, and I hope it's nothing bad."
I'm going to start off every
I was
DM I
just
have.
fucking
You're
God.
not in trouble. I just
No.
want to talk.
Okay,
No, she didn't.
I'm
She
not
didn't think
gonna-
she was in trouble. She just thought something
No.
had gone down. You're like, oh no, what's
I'm
next?
not gonna lie. I thought it was okay. I know this sounds really ironic, but I thought it was gonna be. So I just found out that Angel's been grooming people, or somebody that you know's been grooming people, and I'm like, ah!
What do you want me to call? Do you want me to ask you to come on to randomly talk about movies every once in a while? Is that it?
Wubcake, you and North want to come to date night sometime?
Sure.
Oh
It
my
would break up
god,
the monotonous.
guys! No, you
Do it-
barf, you.
Yeah, we just
Did
yeah.
you?
Did you guys ever see
Barf
it's called The Great? What's
Yeah, we just watched that.
yeah.
The Great Depression.
Ugh,
Oh, it's
we
a
watch movies.
date night.
England's
you
doing
know.
it right now.
Bottle of
Date
wine.
Alright, we gotta fix this. We gotta start doing more movie nights so Wubcake thinks we like her.
But Bernie, I don't think you should be
No, I
using
know
that
you
reference
like
right
me.
now, considering the guests.
It's just like
yeah.
I've been dipping out of the MLP fandom for a bit and like going into
Oh,
freaking
shit.
anime and Danganronpa, and then I take a peek back and I just see Nazi ponies, and I'm like, what the hell is going on?
No, let me explain that. So basically, freaking some news article winded up talking to
Oh yeah, I
freaking
know.
it's
I was like,
Woot Master,
Yeah,
and
I saw
naturally, oh, I'm like, shut up, Woot, you freaking
Yeah, I saw that like Woot was like a contributor because I read the article and I was like,
no,
man,
no.
dude. Like out of everybody though, because I'm like, dude, come on. You
All
really
right.
have like
Tell
full
you
fun
what.
and all that stuff on your profiles or
Let me
whatever, and
let me. You've been in how long were you in the Bernie fandom?
10 years.
10 years. And in your 10 years, how many white supremacists approached you at a convention and made your life hard?
None.
Da 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 da. There you go.
Unless all those creeps were white supremacists, just never told us.
Well, no one's ever going to
Yeah, no, that-
admit that they're Nazis
Okay,
out in
there's
the
no
open.
brony deep state, guys. Sorry.
We've okay.
it's like,
let
oh
me
my
let me
God, it's like,
let me respond to that.
I've
We've
been
gotten
here.
people to admit they're predators. I've run into a couple of white ethno state people that I don't think any of them have. There's any.
I've ran into two. I've ran into two personally. I ran into two who were like genuine, like, you know, like
I've run
legitimate,
into
like
two.
blacks are inferior sort of mentality.
I've run into
Oh,
Shelly D and
Nazi
one's
is
an
the
edgy
more
16-year-old. So eh.
I only
I've
know
run
about
into two who
that's
weren't
it.
those.
Might I mention that all those predators have really weird voices? No,
I mean,
my
Vita
friend
does sound
Avatar
pretty
said
weird.
that recently. She was like, "Why do they all sound like?" I didn't know that she was
First of
12.
all,
I'm
I
sorry."
want everyone to
They
understand.
got their
does sound
fingers
weird,
up their
doesn't it?
nose.
Yeah, what is with
Something.
those guys? They got
Like
sinus
remember
problems.
Gunner? Remember Legit Man guy who was like, oh my gosh, like
Yes,
but
Wubcake.
I'm not a creepy about Wubcake. I'm not creepy about her. I
Look-
mean, okay, maybe I am.
Well, since
You know,
I tried not to pick on Performance Major for his voice, but one of the first words out of his mouth was, I believe Rocky said, 16-year-old boy, and then fucking Performance Major in the creepiest voice can, boy, and I'm like, I want to leave. I don't want to be in this call anymore.
when
I
a
feel
voice
uncomfortable
actor says that your voice is weird, she means it.
Oof.
Oh my gosh.
Also, I'd like to point out,
Why
if you are
do
a
they all
pedophile,
sound like
to all
that?
the
though?
pedophiles out there, if you
yeah.
ever try and use your autism as an excuse, I will personally beat you to death with a halibut.
Oh yeah, there was.
They
that
all
too.
do that.
They all
so
do that.
You're gonna beat them all.
then
yeah,
I will,
they all
then
do
I will
that,
need
yeah.
a lot of halibuts.
my God.
Is
You're gonna
that
run out of
I am
halibut.
Is that the-
autistic.
is that-
I am autistic,
is
and
that-
when I hear you claim your autism is pedophile abusing, I want to continuously
You're
beat you
going,
with a
you're
halibut.
going to have to take
You're
up
gonna run out of
pier
halibuts.
fishing for
Hol-
the number of halibuts you will need.
Oh, I was about to say, when he says halibut, do you mean that thing on the pole or the fish?
The fish.
Okay.
Yeah, no, he's going to need to take up
I
pier fishing.
I will
to get
I
the
will
number
make it
you
last.
need. Yeah.
Indeed.
Again, you're
Like
gonna
you're
run out
gonna
of
hit
halibut.
your numbers, and they're gonna be like, "Sorry, we need to revoke your fishing license. You took too many halibut from the sea." Like that's how many you're gonna need.
Oh my gosh.
You'd
Well,
have
for
to
the
be a
halibut, you might as
poacher
well-
or a commercial fisherman to get that many halibut.
Very much.
Jesus.
I'm British. We're used to taking things that aren't ours.
Well, no, then you're
Well,
a good yeah. Then you're used to poaching. Okay, perfect.
All
how
right
many
then.
places have you
I'm
gone?
American. We're used to running away.
We're used to
I thought-
weaseling
I
out
thought
of
that was the
things. Yeah,
French.
exactly.
Oh,
Oh.
no, that's the French.
Well, you know their
Americans,
battle
uh,
cry of the French. We surrender.
We
Anyways.
surrender.
Oh my God.
We surrender.
I'm part French,
No,
and I don't
no,
even like
America-
admitting that. Jesus.
Weasel out of thing. Well, we have interests in this region that conflict with the military needs of your regime at this time. We're sorry, but you can count on us as an ally. We weasel out of things.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Oh, Jesus. I'm tired of being the nightmare that everybody's like, oh God, Anthony's bugging me again.
Oh.
I'm not trying to
You got
be a
100
jerk.
Well, you got 112. Well, Wub got you.
Well, to be
112.
fair, you do like to egg on people.
Well,
sometimes.
like, you know what? It's weird. It's not like I show up and like ask people for money in their DMs. Christ.
Well,
I
you don't
get
do
the
that.
same
Who does
reaction.
that? Yeah, who the fuck? Maybe you should try. Are you gonna get the money?
Oh no, Anthony messaged me. Oh god, I'm alone in call with him. I'm gonna leave now.
Oh, speaking of which,
no.
I missed this super chat here. Lucy Johnson. She sounds like a literal vampire who needs to get her act together and grow up.
Yeah, what do they call those
Oh, shit.
energy vampires?
Oh, jeez.
We'll
Stop
never
saying
tell you.
14.
What's 14, Bond?
What's
Don't know. Stop saying it.
What's 14?
Yeah.
You said it 5 fucking times.
Hi, lol, 14, 14, 14, 14,
Love the
14.
spam.
Okay?
Yeah.
Oh
Bon
my God.
Bon 87, thank you.
Midnight chimes.
Are we counting? Are we doing the number game? I'm really good at this.
What? I don't know what's going
14?
on,
Just
Chimes.
say a number, dude. It's easy.
Anyway. Anyway.
I want to give
confused.
Chimes credit. You're one of the people that actually reminded us when freaking what's her
You gotta
face
jab.
Quill.
You
Yeah,
gotta
here we go.
super-
Avatar Mishiru. To North, I'll catch you fish to do the rest. Excellent.
All right,
get a lot more
business
gotta be
halibut.
halibut.
begins.
Yeah.
Everyone's writing numbers.
Has to be halibut.
What's going on?
Bon Bon.
Confusion.
They're just gonna sit there and say 14 over and over.
And there's a
We're
You
getting
gotta say
25.
other numbers. Yeah, there you go, Anthony. You're great. 25. No one thought to make that play.
Dude.
21.
No.
If you want to,
72. Yeah, what do you got?
if you want to do numbers, do them in super chats. Anyways.
Yeah, now, if you want to play the number game, it will cost you a super chat. So.
Lol.
It will cost you 1 super.
I have
41.
power, and I will start kicking people who are
34.
playing number.
The power within.
Is there
Power
since
within.
since we're here, I figured I'd ask this. You might be a bit more in touch with it. Are there any other people that we should warn people about that are maybe
Like moochers.
yeah over I don't want to say problematic problem house guests?
Mm.
Not really that I can think of.
Angel's left tit.
Uh,
What about the right one?
you know that was the. Okay, thank you,
But you got a super
DCP.
chat.
287-669-087. Hope that's nobody's phone number,
Nice.
DCP.
How did you find my bank code?
Oh,
Oh my
thank-
gosh.
Holy shit.
That's my social. That's awesome.
All right,
Also, North, what about her right tip?
all
Wait, what?
right.
You said not her left tip or something. Sorry.
Sorry.
Oh, yeah, that. Well, look, Angel loved to constantly keep talking about her madongalongas.
Oh yeah, she was
To put-
she was obsessed with that.
Yeah, to put into perspective, she also didn't know bra sizes. Like, her mother literally taught her nothing. That's why I don't. That's why I don't believe there could have been some sort of maliciousness or macabre meaning. She literally is too stupid for that. And I'm not even saying that as a sort of you're a moron. I mean, she literally wasn't taught
It
anything.
doesn't help when you get attacked by Angel and her boobs pop out of her fucking shirt.
What?
I'm guessing that happened.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then I was like,
Oh, you
like
poor
like
soul.
when you get to the point where you argue with someone, you're saying petty things, and I'm just like, oh, at least I know my bra size, something like that. And she's like, oh, why are you looking at my boobs, you dyke? And I was like, wow.
That's my. That's not what being a dyke means.
She got pissed at me because she got pissed at me because I started Danganronpa memeing. I'm just like, hey, despair.
Despair.
Like your despair makes me happy.
Yes,
So to bring it
despair
back
fills
round-
me with joy.
So to bring it right back to the reason we did all this, Angels will meet you. Just leave her alone.
Okay.
The bund of like I think now she's now with Envy's parents, like, and she's going to court.
Oh yeah,
soon.
and they forced her to get a job, so now she works at Subway.
You know what would have been
Nice.
You know what would have been
Subway.
fantastic though?
What?
If only we would have
Depends on
pre-planned
your
this,
definition of fantastic.
we could have like tried to blame this all on Victor Vortex. Well, because
my
let me read
God.
super chat. Vash Lancet says, "Here, I'll give you some since I finally get to see you live. Keep up the good work, FNGR. Thank you. Yeah, it would have been nice to be able to put that all on the Predator.
Oh my gosh! If only it was that simple, right?
Yeah." They would have been a remarkable human being if they hadn't been preyed upon.
Season says I work at Subway. Hope she enjoys working in hell.
Subway.
Well,
Oh,
my
yeah,
conviction was I was
absolutely.
saying
Yeah, I love
I
Subway.
wouldn't be
I'm gonna
surprised if she
find
started
out what
complaining
Subway
about
this
that.
person works at. I'm gonna tell them I want it toasted, and then after they make it, I'm going to say I didn't want this toasted. I said untoasted, and then they're gonna make me a new sandwich, and I'm gonna go, "Why the fuck isn't this toasted? How did you fuck this up 2 times in a row?"
I want
Brownies
lettuce.
are
No
high
more.
now.
No less. More. Little more.
here's the
No
thing.
less.
Angel would actually believe you
No,
when
I
you
would get her
said
to do the whole thing. I'd get
she
two.
would.
I'd
She
get
would. She would.
2 free
She would.
sandwiches. Where's your manager? I want all of this for free.
Brony, you vile man.
No,
And he
the
wants
manager does
cookies.
not deserve that.
No, and
You
I'm
gotta get
getting
chips and
free
cookies.
cookies, and I want them to send Ari a diamond $20 in a birthday card. Yeah, I mean, I'm not
Exactly.
going to debtor jail.
Jesus. Have we gotten to the end of it?
I'm willing to say yes.
When does it end?
Yeah.
That is the
Never.
question.
No,
It's
No-
the bit
North,
that-
There's nothing.
yeah, North, when
What was that, Joe?
when I had talked, or you talked to me, or whatever, it was at a work day or something like that, and I was going to try and make a spiel about responsibility of coming forward, but I was like, I am too tired, I am at work, and I'm going to fuck this up, and I don't want to piss off North, so yeah, I'll just do it later, and then, I wound up having overtime, and day after day after day, and I was like, oh yeah, I finally got today off. I should probably go tap Wub on the shoulder. That was it.
Gosh. I'm not gonna lie. When I originally posted those tweets about Angel, I was like, "Huh, it's awfully quiet around here. I'm surprised FNGR hasn't come to tap me about this."
I wanted to, but I think I was in the middle of dealing with the freaking what's
Plus
the
other
kid's name
people,
again?
yeah.
Rouge,
Hmm.
Delia. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it's
And
weird.
I'd already told you about it, I think.
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, boy.
Not nearly. I did not come in here knowing the bulk or half or a third of this story. I don't think I knew a tenth. There was I knew nothing of this.
You literally knew nothing. You didn't even realize who it was.
Yeah.
It took you a minute anyway.
Well, all I
No,
knew
it was
was
all
Angel
Victor, right?
on the name, and
Yeah.
all right. I think we should call that a wrap then. Thank you everyone for coming out. Godspeed. Where's the stop button?